And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for clicking play on this video. I thought I would answer a couple of questions for you. It's been about a week and a half since we've been back from Tennessee and trying to do the right thing. We did a little self-isolation lockdown, a little 14-day period since we had to take planes and go through airports, and you guys watched most of that stuff. So we decided to kind of lock ourselves down just in case we pick something up. Nancy and I went and did a COVID-19 test here in LA County. We both tested negative, which was a great thing. We didn't film that one. I don't know why we didn't film that one, but we didn't film that one because I didn't want to just duplicate videos for you guys. But we've kind of just been home trying to figure things out, and we've got things that we need to talk about. You and I need to talk about. There's moving updates that we're excited to bring you guys. There's wedding updates that we're excited to bring you guys, and it's kind of crazy how much life has advanced during this pandemic, during this time where the whole world has kind of just been put on hold. To think in March, we were all living a completely different life to now almost being in July, we're talking 4 months or so of just life being up in the air, life just being completely questionable. And it's crazy to think that our lives, Nancy, James, and I, our life has been kind of progressing in such a different way than I ever would have expected it to with the move and the wedding and everything. But those are some of the things that I'm going to get into in upcoming videos. Today I wanted to answer, kind of discuss and talk about a couple questions that I've been getting over the past month or two since we've been talking about this move. One, why Nashville? Why did we decide to move to Nashville, Tennessee? And number two, what happens with Wreckless Eating? Well, myself with Wreckless Eating. So starting with Nashville, why Nashville? I did my first cross-country road trip in 2009, I think it was, late 2009. And ever since then, over the past 10, 11 years, I have done probably a dozen cross-country road trips from California to North Carolina to back. Like just back and forth, back and forth. I've done the 40 a dozen times, at least. I've been lucky enough to do, I think, 25 or 30 of the 50 states in the United States. And every single time I have done that trip to and from, I've done the entire East Coast, I've done the entire West Coast, but there's always been something about Tennessee, North Carolina. That region right there has always called out to me. Anytime I've ever come back to California, everything's all brown and dark and just, yes, bright and sunny, but I've always said that the earth looks happier on that side of the world. And I've always enjoyed what it's looked like over there. So it's kind of been something that's always called to me. 2009, I tried to move out there. That ended up falling through. 2012, I moved out there for just a few months, and then that ended up falling through. I've always liked a lot of the beach cities in North Carolina, the coastal cities, as well as Raleigh. I've enjoyed Raleigh. I've had great times in Raleigh. I fell in love with Asheville, which is just the most beautiful little quiet college town up in a mountain somewhere. Asheville is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous city. I've always wanted to be, North Carolina's always called to me, and then Tennessee, once I started spending more and more time in Tennessee as I was younger, I just kind of started having, like, man, I would love to be out here. Between the people, the food, the culture, the music, just, like, it just kind of fit a little bit more. Now, there's pros and cons to it all, but it's always been something that I've been interested in. So now, fast forward to 2019, I think it was, Nancy and I were talking about a life together and having a future together. And she has enjoyed Nashville. We've gone back and back and back, and she's just also enjoyed it. And one of the major selling points was the cost of living. California itself, where I'm born and raised, has just been, it's an oversaturated market. There are too many people. The cost of living is insane. We're almost paying $2,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. The amount of money that you have to think about the cost of living in California, with gas prices being $4 a gallon and rent being this much and milk being $5, it's a lot in California. Being able to spend time in other parts of the country has then given me an opportunity to see the way that, yes, I know minimum wage is higher out here and there's like this whole back and forth battle, but the cost of living weighs out. Out in the Nashville suburbs, you can have a mortgage and own property, have a home, right? Not just an apartment that you're renting from someone, a home. a place that you can call yours. That's something that here in Southern California, where people of my generation are one, we've had to have roommates almost our entire life. There's no way for a single or a couple individual to be able to afford having any type of home out here, unless you're moving to the high desert where you can find cheaper property, going deeper into the San Bernardino County area. Like, there's no way in LA County, where I was born and raised, to be able to survive. To think about owning property. Owning property is something that has just been a pipe dream, something so far off in my head that I never thought was possible. To have a mortgage on a house that is cheaper than the rent that I'm paying now, I mean, to me it just seems like a no-brainer. But owning a property, that's something dreams are made of, right? And that's selfishly talking about myself. Now I've got a 14-year-old son who within the next few years is going to be graduating high school, and he's going to be trying to go out on his own and do his own thing, and he's going to grow to be his own person. There's no way in California, unless you are going to an 8-year school, which I'm not going to be able to afford, and getting your degree in something that's going to pay you millions of dollars or at least a mid-6-figure a year. There's just no way to survive here in California. And we're tired of struggling. We are tired of struggling. I know we've gotten to show you guys adventures and travels and stuff, but myself, my friends, I mean, we all just struggle in California. And I'm seeing an opportunity to not struggle anymore, and we're kind of taking it. And I've gotten burnt out on Los Angeles. Overall, I've just gotten burnt out on LA. When you fly into Los Angeles, for those of you guys that have never been there, whether you're flying into Ontario or Santa Ana or LAX or wherever you're going, if you're flying into Southern California, you literally just fly over concrete. Bunch of squares and rectangles all over the frickin' place. There's very little to no nature. Once you get over the mountains, when you're coming from the east, once you get over the mountains and stuff, you're just staring at concrete. There's no life. There's nothing other. It is the concrete jungle. That's literally what it is, and that's anxiety driven. And I know we have everything here. We've got the mountains, we got the desert, we got the beaches. Like, from where I live, an hour this way, an hour that way, or an hour that way, like, I've got everything. I've got a mountain, I've got a desert, I got a beach. But that's not, I mean, it's not, I don't utilize it enough to fucking care. Driving down my freeways, all I'm staring at is buildings. And driving down the streets, all you're staring at is buildings and fake trees that have just been planted there. They're not even growing there. They're just not natural to this area. It's kind of become something that just drives me. It's been driving me a little crazy. I want to be out in the open, and I've lived apartment lives where we're living in 1,000 square foot apartments, trapped with no porches, no patios, no outdoors, no nothing. And it just really hasn't been pleasant. So I do have a love and appreciation for Los Angeles and the hustle and bustle of it, but when you walk down the street or when you see neighbors or whatever the situation is, the majority of my experiences, other people may live in other areas that is different, but the society in this busy city, one of the busiest cities and counties in the entire country, is now you get people that are incredibly rude, incredibly selfish. The people on the roads drive like selfish assholes, and the people that you walk by every single day don't even look up and acknowledge you or say hello. And it's not warming, it's not reassuring, it's not something that I want to continue spending my life having to endure. Where, when you sit down in Nashville, for example, since we're talking about it, there's been a lot of other cities that I've been able to enjoy like this, but in Nashville, it's like you sit down at a restaurant or a bar or something, and the next thing you know, you're talking to like 30 different people, and everyone's together, and everyone's having a great time, instead of sitting down at a restaurant here in LA where every table is just, you kind of talk to yourself, and if anyone tries to mention you, you just shut them down, or if anyone tries to cross paths with you or interject themselves in your conversation, it's not open, it's not warming, and it's not hospitable. It's just not something that's enjoyable. And I feel like I need that change, as well as I feel like my son needs that change. To be able to experience a society where we are able to be closer to being one, right? To respect the person next to you, to enjoy the company of a stranger, to not be afraid of a stranger, not to be able to be walking by someone on the streets of LA and going, oh man, what's this interaction gonna be like? Please, I'm gonna keep looking down, you look down, and let's just keep going our own way. But to be able to find companionship and friendship, even if it's for just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, and somebody in a grocery store or whatever the situation is, I've had such nicer conversations outside of California with absolute complete strangers than I have actually here at home. And it's something that gets old. From where we live right now, we're about 23 miles to downtown Los Angeles. From our house in Tennessee, we're gonna be about the same, 23 miles driving to downtown Nashville. In LA, it's gonna take us an hour and a half. On average, an hour and a half, sometimes 3 hours. On average in Tennessee, it's gonna take us 30 minutes. We've done jobs that are 4-hour-long jobs and have spent 6 hours driving to and from that job. It doesn't make sense. To get to the beach, you're looking at 2+ hours. LA's so congested, the traffic is insane. There's just so many downfalls that I'm looking at. I don't wanna spend that much time on the road. I don't want not going anywhere. If it was something fun or something to do, work can be fun, but I'm just saying, like, to go meet friends at the beach, oh, it's gonna take me 2.5 hours to get there. We're gonna spend 4 hours there and it's gonna take me 3 to 5 hours to get back. Now our work can transfer. We are able to leave Los Angeles and pretty much pick up where we left off in Nashville. Also opening up opportunities in Nashville. We may end up starting our own business out there. We may be jumping into businesses that are already started out there. We have hopes for forward progression that seems to be a little bit broader than what it's gonna be here in Los Angeles. We might be able to go do something new in Nashville and be able to open up our possibilities in the Nashville area that we are just stuck in the system here in Los Angeles. So we're kind of looking forward to that and just to be able to make a change. Ultimately, we're excited for that change. It's an absolute change. And those are all the positive things. Now there's negative things about this move to Nashville. Before we get into the reckless eating stuff, I intended this video to be short. Oh, if you guys have been watching this vlog over the past 4 years, you know I like to ramble. But some of the negative things are leaving our family and friends, number one. We know just a couple handfuls of people out in the Nashville area, which definitely makes it, nerve-wracking. We're not going to a big support system. We're not gonna go see a big group of people or have family out there. So that makes it kind of unsettling. Leaving our family and friends behind, that's everything that we know. Every restaurant that we are familiar with and comfortable with, and the places that we like and the places that we don't like. I'm gonna say that that's probably like the number one con, the number one negative thing about having this move is just leaving the people that we love, because we know that they're still gonna be in our lives, right? We're gonna talk to them all the time, FaceTimes and Zooms and just, all those, why are you beating me with your toy? Stop it. All those different things that we could use to communicate, phone calls, texts, and all that stuff. But that's not the same as seeing them, right? Like, I'm gonna miss seeing my sister, and I'm gonna miss seeing my grandma and my aunts and my mom, and just, I hope that they come out and come visit us multiple times a year, but life gets in the way, and we know that. We also hope to be out back in California multiple times a year, and life gets in the way. We also know that. I'm hoping to be able to see my family for the holidays and stuff, but we're not gonna know until it comes, until things get worked out. And it's definitely something that we're making a priority in our lives, but it's just scary. They're not gonna be down the road. My mom's not gonna be 5 miles that way. Like, my sister's not gonna be a half an hour that way. So to leave my family and friends behind is something that's definitely, it's definitely gonna be heartbreaking. And during this whole quarantine thing, I haven't even really had a chance to be able to see any of my friends or family, let alone be able to just sit down. I would love to sit down for a couple hours and just be like, guys, I miss you, and I'm going to miss you, and this is how it is. But we've taken this coronavirus situation very seriously, so I'm missing out on so many opportunities. 2020 was supposed to be our year. 2020 was supposed to be our year in California. We wanted to go up and down the coast and go see things that we haven't seen and do road trips and camping and see all of our friends, and none of that's happened. This fucking pandemic sucks. But the other downfalls of moving outside of family and friends, which is the most important part, the next step would be there's no medicinal marijuana laws. There is, in Tennessee, there is a medicinal marijuana law, but it is the most bullshit law in all of the United States when it comes to medicinal cannabis. They are very, very, very far behind, as the majority of the South is. So that's going to be definitely an adjustment in my life because, as you guys know, I stopped taking pain pills. I barely even take Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything unless the doctor's like, you have to take this stuff. And even on that, like, I'm very questionable. Moving out to Tennessee without any of those laws or without any of those protections that I've had over the past 10 or 11 years of my life, that's definitely going to be an adjustment. That's crazy. I mean, hopefully federally they can just pass that through and then I won't have to worry about it. So that's definitely something that's been on my mind, and that's something that's going to be way different. As well as coming from the West Coast, the melting pot of the United States, where we have absolutely everybody. We're moving to the South, which that's good and bad, right? Like, I love it. I love the Southern hospitality. I love the home cooking. I love just so much about the South. But now that we're seeing, there's obviously still a lot of racism, and there's still a lot of things that I'm going to have to confront while being out there because I have a different belief system than what a lot of the locals and stuff. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying a lot of them is probably even the wrong term, but it is a very southern state. Tennessee is a very southern state. Nashville is very prideful, and that's going to be interesting. Just my times that I've been there, really can't think of one time that there hasn't been some type of race thing brought up, and it's just I'm hoping that there's gonna be change, man. I'm hoping that I could help bring some change, usher in some change, change the thoughts and minds. I know I'm only one person, but I'm going to be bringing a different mentality into a completely different world. That part's definitely a negative. That's pretty damn nerve-wracking. So those are just kind of some of my current thoughts. Like I said, it's been a crazy week, so I haven't really had time to film anything. So I thought I would just sit down and kind of just ramble on with you guys. Moving on to the reckless eating stuff. Let's talk about reckless eating. The majority of you all know me from the Reckless Eating channel, which I greatly appreciate that. I have been a part of the Reckless Eating channel since pretty much the beginning. Matt has always kept an open door for me with the Reckless Eating channel. Anytime that I was even in a negative place in my life, I always had an open invite, which is always something that has helped me get through so many of the times, being able to go see my friends and just go be productive and go do this. Over the past couple years, you guys have seen me a lot more on the Reckless Eating channel, as well as I spent about 1.5 years filming and editing main shows and challenges and trying to help out behind the scenes as well. With me moving, it's gonna make it increasingly difficult to be a part of the channel. Anytime I'm out here, I am absolutely open for filmings and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm not gonna be around here anymore. That makes it really, really hard to do filmings. Hopefully Matt and Chris can hop on a plane, come out to Nashville, and we can do a whole set of reviews and stuff out there. But my appearances on the Reckless Eating channel are definitely going to be slowed down, I'm gonna have to say, as well as it has been over the past few months because of quarantine. I just haven't been over to Matt's. I know Nando and Chuck and a few people have gone over recently, but it's not something that I just haven't been interacting with people, especially indoors in close quarters and stuff like that. I've been avoiding it. So when it comes to Reckless Eating, it's always gonna be a special place in my heart. I'm still always gonna watch it. I'm still gonna support it. Still hope to pop in on live streams with you guys and be in the chats with you guys and all this stuff. I'm not leaving Reckless Eating behind, for those of you guys that are curious or wondering. So I thought I would just shoot this and just let you guys know I'm not forever leaving Reckless Eating. Still hope to get on some videos, and I would love to shoot some videos before I end up having to leave. I mean, that's all stuff that can only be told by time. Well, now that this has been a long rambling video, I don't even care. I'm just gonna edit this really quick. I might even get it up today. I might still have time to get it up today. Let's see if we could do that. Long rambling, just sitting here having a little afternoon cocktail. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your weekend, depending on when you guys have watched this. Enjoy your day. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know that quarantine the past couple months has just been a lot of sitting around and talking here in my living room, but it's kind of where I've been, and this is real life. So now I'm gonna stop filming with you guys so I can get this thrown up, because I like responding to comments and stuff with you. Nash, do you have any last words? Any last things you want to say? Are you excited to go to Nashville and have a big yard? You want to have a big yard? Look, up here. Hi. You gonna go run around and chase birds and leaves and stuff? What do you think? What do you think about the move? No, you have nothing to say? You've been yapping all morning and now you're just quiet, aren't you? Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna end this video. I appreciate you guys sitting down with me and listening to me ramble. Make sure to let me know what you guys think, the ups and downs and the positives and negatives of moving cross country. We're doing really good over here, and we're very, very excited for some change. Like I said, we've got information on dates and when we're actually moving and when things are going to be official. Stay tuned for those. They might be coming sooner than you think. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Click that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.